Hello and welcome to my fellow Africans. The pain and anger over the senseless and tragic death of George Floyd at the hands of law enforcement has ignited public outcries of racism and injustice across the globe. We all accept that Black Lives Matter and that we should put an end to social injustice and racism. To tackle this perverse bias of white supremacy, we should not only look at external factors as if we are merely a victim of outward forces, but rather we should as well go within ourselves to ascertain the issues that systemically plague us as a race. I completely agree that there is inequality, prejudice, discrimination, poverty for the Black race, but equally, I believe there are inherent internal conditions such as behavioral and cultural values that impede our progress. This internal makeup is what I want to allude to because it is what we have control of. We need to ask ourselves, why are Black people suffering injustice? Why are they disproportionately discriminated? You will find that the common factor is the issue of poverty. Black people remain disproportionately poor. With low economic development, we have not been able to significantly make a difference to the world, always on the receiving end, and far too often at the mercy of other races. How do we expect to be valued if we are not valuable? How can we expect to be accepted when far too often we are waiting to be beneficiaries of others' efforts? As we call to the end of injustice and discrimination, we need to take personal responsibility of our own circumstances. We must take charge of our future. We should go to the root cause of the problem that produces the culture of poverty. We need to break this culture which affects Black as it transmits itself throughout generations, impeding our progress. As a race, we have various depravities embedded in our culture that hampers our development. These range from misplaced moral values, negative behaviors among the young and the poor, dependency on government aid that results in disincentives which further sustains poverty, misguided values and decision-making, participation in sundry detrimental iniquities, crime, hypersexuality. This subculture prevents us from adopting the values of the larger culture that leads to integration and social mobility. We need to overcome the culture of poverty through moral and behavioral reformation. We should value hard work and respectability over materialism. We should advocate the importance of education in building Black human capital and promoting industrious and entrepreneurship in our communities. To play our part in this liberation, MACD Unlimited is working with Africans in the UK, African embassies, African governments, and other relevant stakeholders to ensure that we are well empowered so that we are developed in order to extend it to our nations and the continent at large. Please join us in this initiative to lift up a Black race and propel our continent forward. Please follow me on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, and let's get connected.